morning. Welcome to this Mark's Reviews and Tutorials. This morning we're going to talk about hole saws. Wonderful inventions, wonderful things these are. Great for cutting holes. I use these to cut holes through steel sides of above ground swimming pools, through decks, through all sorts of things, for plumbing and different things. If you have a look at my how to install a downlight video, you can also use it for, I'll put a link up to that up there. You can also use it to cut a hole and then put a downlight. That's what I've used that one for. But what happens from time to time is the bit you cut out, of course, as you're cutting through, the outside stays out here, but the inside piece stays inside, and you've got to get that out. And it can become really, really tricky in order to get it out. So what I'm going to show you here is just a few of the different methods to get it out. Now, a good hole saw, this is a more expensive one here. I use these for cutting steel. We'll have these little slots in the side, and what that's all about is so that you can get a screwdriver in there, or maybe a screw, something sharp or something like that, and you can get in and you can get under the piece, and evenly you can work your way around to get it up, to work it out. That's really often the very, very best way, is to get in behind it. You can see some little marks on there where I've been levering. Just get a screwdriver in. If you can get under it, awesome. Push it up and push it out until it then comes out. There's always a center drill. You see, here's another one here. That's the centerpiece off that drill. This guy has got a piece well and truly wedged in it. I'll show you that in a second. This one here, this is a cheaper one, and if you have a look, there is no way of getting in underneath something and pushing it out. Sometimes you get a hole in the back so that you can press it out. Again, no chance. What you have to do is take the centerpiece out of this one, screw it out from here, and then get in behind and give it a push. Is the only way if it gets jammed in. You can try and get in the side, but you don't want to end up bending your teeth or bending this out of its round shape. That's just going to make a mess. So if it gets caught and there's no slots, then pull this back stem out, undo that, and then poke through from the back is the way to go. This is an older set, but you can still get these. This has got quite a few different sizes of hole saws. And again, there's a slot. There's only one, but there's a slot, and normally that's enough to be able to get a screwdriver in behind and get that piece out. Now, this guy here, I did something unusual. I had to cut it on an angle. I didn't cut it square like that. I cut it on an angle like that, and the piece that came out has gone in on the angle that I cut it out. Now, I have been working, you see that's all butched up there where I've been trying to get in that hole and that hole. This one has 4, this one only has 2 ways to try and get it out. Not happening. You see that rub mark there? That actually shows where this saw's a little bit out of round. Probably I can feel there's a weld mark where they've joined it around the side. So that's not quite round, and that's why it's worn in that spot. So we've got some options here. We can do what I said with the other one. We can undo the back and press it from behind. But what I'm going to do, I tried to drill it out, because just by taking the tension off it sometimes is enough that you can then work it out. And you can see I've broken a bit of it off there trying to get it out. What I'm going to do is simply get a screw, or a couple of them actually, and screw it into the timber, and then grab a pair of pliers and try to pull it very, very square. Of course, if you try and hook it from the side in through these holes, it tends to want to go sideways and you can just jam up if it's really tight, because this was also, as you can see, really quite thick. It goes all the way down to here. So I'm going to put a screw in here and a screw in here into where I've drilled the holes before, and then just get a pair of pliers and try and pull it straight up. Okay, here we go. Just going to see if we can't drive this out just by putting screws in on top. You can see it coming straight up. This is going to work. Now, I have really put in the hours on this one, trying to get it out, and couldn't. Now the screws come to the end of itself there. At one point what I did, I actually drilled holes just to try and reduce the tension, to get the tension off the side here. So, and I've gone into those holes, and that's now stripping, so I'm going to let the screw go in fresh. Not into a drilled hole, but just to go straight in, and that will give the screw more of a binding. See if we can't get that last little bit. There's one. one. There's two. But this way, anything you can, I suppose if you've got a hole saw, you can drill into it, be it steel, be it plaster, be it wood, whatever. Try and get these straight so they press straight. There we go, look at that lifting out, beautiful. And this one. Okay, I reckon that's now high enough. Got a big chunk of it out over the side. By screwing that in, I'll see how we go now with a screwdriver, see if we can't get that last little bit. Here we go, here's a screwdriver, in underneath. You can lever this. I think the moral of this story is don't cut wood on an angle with a hole saw, because it has been an absolute pain to get out. So yeah, that's coming up now. Don't ever make the mistake of drilling one, leaving it in, and then drilling another and letting it push up into here, because again, that just makes it incredibly hard to get it out. Always take out each piece as they come, and that's always going to be a lot easier. All right, well, for the sake of the video, that guy is still super tight. I'm going to take those screws, well, I'll go back to the pliers actually. Was the original idea was to grab the screw heads with the pliers. Aha! There we go. It's out. So, two methods I've used there. As a matter of fact, you have a look in there, if there are holes in the back as well, if you've got something small enough like a nail or something to go down and press from behind. But we've managed to get that one out. Screwing the screws in and then being able to grab it with a pair of pliers on the top and pull it vertically out. We've managed to get out. That's the tightest one I've ever had. I've had a lot of carry on with that, but there you go. Putting the screws in and letting it drive it out is great. And then having something to be able to grab and pull vertical. You got to not try and pull on the side. That's just going to cause it to jam. You got to try and pull it vertical so it comes out. And now we've got the hole saw back and ready to go again. Have a look in the links in the description for hole saws and all the different bits and pieces, pliers and so forth. And I'll put links to all those in the description.